Hello, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of January 13th to the 19th. So as I started the reading tonight and was asking the guides what they most wanted to communicate to you, the image they began with was a fire hydrant. And it was a fire hydrant that was in the street, like it would be in the summertime with the spout open and water flowing everywhere. And it would be the kind of thing where you would imagine children playing in it. But there's nobody playing in this water. This water is just out of control, splashing everywhere, and there's no play. So we go with the image of water as being emotion and a fire hydrant being fire related. And then I'm pulling the cards, and what I'm getting with all of this put together is that it seems to me that there are some of you who are possibly inclined at this point in time to blow off in terms of your emotions, to let fear and therefore potentially anger as a defense against the fear cause you to throw out your emotions verbally in a way where it can be perceived as an attack. Okay, now I've mentioned before, as I love my Aries, they can be kind of brutal when they do not watch their words and watch how they communicate their emotions. They're also very inclined to have a pretty clear idea of how things should be going. And when they don't go that way and it triggers this fear response in them, or concern response at least, they can be a little bit abrupt and not watch their words. And you are being asked here to really please do your best to stay in touch with your heart. Because the tendency is, when we go into fear, is we override the heart. We're not in our heart. We're in fear. We're in a nervous system that is fight, flight, freeze, fawn, and therefore you're not in a good reasoning state. And that's when you're more inclined to say things that are going to be over the top, explosive like the water coming out, and where you lose track of what is a healthy emotional boundary between you and whoever you're communicating with. You're being reminded that love is something that is not about doing for somebody. It is a state of being. It is something that radiates. So that goes in line with, if you're getting upset with somebody because they're not doing something the way you want them to do it, even if you think it's for their own good or for the good of your relationship, go back to whether or not there are rules about what's right and wrong in terms of loving somebody, taking care of somebody in a loving way, taking care of a situation in a loving way. Because it seems to me, when we put all of this together, what it looks like is you've lost your connection to your heart center, which is where love really radiates from. You've gone into the head, you've gone into the fear, and whether or not you're actually saying this to anybody or whether or not it's just playing out in your head, what it's doing is it's creating an energy around it. And whether or not it's directly affecting the people that you're having these feelings around, what we do know is it's affecting you. And it's keeping you out of your center. It's keeping you out of, what do you really feel about it? Because that kind of reaction that we're talking about, that fear and that over-emoting without watching your words, you're very often spouting a lot of stuff that isn't truly what your heart is feeling. Your heart might be feeling, I really love you, please don't. Your heart might really be feeling, I'm terrified of what will happen to you if. Can we talk about that? So what you do actually is you end up creating barriers between you and the people you want to help. Even in your own mind you do. You stop being open to possibility of what might be good, what might work for them. And it's so easy when you go into fear. It's so easy also to go into blame, to hopelessness, all of those heavy emotions. and heavy energies which stimulate the chemicals in your body, which lead you more towards anxiety, depression, and again, a closed perception of possibility. So what you're being asked to do here is do your very best to notice when you're going over the top in your own head and realize that it's a fear reaction. It's not something that is actually going to solve a problem. It's not going to give you an answer, and it's certainly not going to give you peace. So you're being asked to go into a state of kindness. Okay, I'm going to read you. There are two cards here that are very important for you. And I'll tell you why this is going to be important and how you can stay in this more. Kindness. This carries a quality of gentleness, empathy, gracious consideration, humaneness. It may be expressed in an attitude of sympathy, amiability, benevolence, or tenderness. Each time you have the choice to be right or kind, choose kind. That goes back to, what did you say, Aries? Okay, gratitude. This feels big and opens everything, our hearts, minds, and hands. In these moments, we're not grasping. We're free of all yearning, because in that state, our fulfillment is complete. It's a selfless emotion with no demands or hidden agendas. It presents us in our real and powerful vulnerability. In that humble state of vulnerability, we've created the space within us to receive more. Today, give thanks for everything, whether it looks good or bad. Now, these two emotions, these are actually intentional attitude cards. They're asking you to really take on this energy as much as possible. Now, of course, if you're going through something that is bringing a lot of fear up, it's difficult to be grateful for that situation. But what you can be grateful for around that situation is for the solutions that will come, for the intuition that can come to you, for the guidance you can receive. Be grateful for the things that you would like to expect, that you would like to have happen, that you would like to be. Be grateful for being calm as though you already have it. What you're doing as you set those intentions is you're helping to stop the momentum of negativity and fear and crashing boundaries and giving up and hopelessness and pain and all the things that go along with whatever is triggering this of emotion that is so out of control. You're basically being asked to work with that energy. Kindness towards yourself, kindness towards whoever else is involved, whatever else is involved. Lifting your vibration up like that allows you to be more in a state of intuition. It allows you to move into your loving heart. Now, whether you believe this or not, metaphysically, it's understood that when you look at somebody with a positive attitude, you actually affect their energy positively. So it's not putting on rose-colored glasses to expect the best. It's not putting on rose-colored glasses to look for things to be grateful for during periods of fear, anxiety, all of that. It's actually productive thinking because it's shifting the energy in a positive way. Doesn't mean you don't still have to be proactive and positive and really look genuinely at what the situation is that is causing you to have this concern. Absolutely. We need to be realistic. We're living on the earth, but it's also time to understand in this day and age that positive intention is also realistic and it has concrete effects. So this is obviously where it's difficult, but this is actually where our growth as individuals take place, is learning how to move and choose to be in the kind of energy that actually helps resolve a situation. I know it feels like a big job, absolutely. But what you can do in order to try to move yourself into that is think about these cards, kindness and gratitude. Think about what these feel like. Take a screenshot if you need to. I think that's clear. And remember that by putting yourself into that state, you change your chemicals and you increase your ability to be more constructively, deliberately, intentionally, and proactively positive. Not in a phony way. You're helping shift your energy and your chemicals to do that. Look at what you're saying. Do you want to say that? Is it really what you believe? The idea of we can talk about reality and we can say this is the fact, but we could also look at what the potential reality is, and we can choose to focus on that. So be realistic, but as you're talking about it, how is it making you feel? Is it making you feel better, or is it taking you down? If it's taking you down, let that slice of reality be there and look at the other one. There is an exercise that I have done, and I don't know if I've actually mentioned it on the channel. I think I have to someone, and I don't know who. But it's the idea of 50% it could turn out this way, 50% it could turn out that way. Which one makes you feel better in this moment? That's where you put your attention. That's where you put your energy. If there are things that need to be done practically, fine, do them. But your job is to maintain the energy that makes you feel the best while handling whatever you need to handle, while saying whatever you need to say. And feeling the best isn't feeling superior or self-righteous or there, I've taken care of it. Feeling the best is feeling your heart, feeling expansive, feeling hopeful. That is your best, okay? One of the ways to do this is a really simple exercise. Check in with what you're saying and ask, is it really what I feel like I'm saying? And if it's not, then what would I like to say instead? Before you go into anything that is negative behavior, ask yourself, do I really want to do that? And if not, what do you want to do instead? And now this exercise, very simple, and I know I have said this before, let your smile be the connection between your heart and your head. When you smile, you know the difference between a fake smile, right? Like this, and a real smile, a genuine smile. It starts in your heart and it moves up into your eyes. Your smile is the connection that moves it through your throat chakra and into your higher centers, through the higher centers. Think of your heart, if you have a hard time getting to that, think of yourself as having a heart and a deep heart, a heart and a true heart. Your deepest heart, your wisest heart, your kindest heart, your radiating heart, okay? And do your best to stay there. Again, don't blame yourself if you can't stay in it, but when you notice yourself moving out of that and going into the fear again, check in with yourself. Set some boundaries in your own mind around where you'll let yourself go. Check on the words that you're using. And all of this helps open you to intuition because you don't get answers and you don't get guidance when you're in a state of anxiety. When you're in fear and attack and pain, you don't get the answers there. So step away. That's the value of allowing your frequency to raise, because that shifts your nervous system in a way where you can be open to insights, wisdom, intuition. Okay? Don't know who this is for. God bless you, whoever it is. You've got work to do, but it's very clear that this is one of the ways that you can do it. Okay? I won't repeat myself, although the tendency is to do that. I will ask you to go back and listen to it so that you get your steps and your clues, because I think it's already getting to be long. All right? Remember, smile from your heart, right up through to your eyes. Let it be real. Okay? Take care. Oh, right. I'll be back next week. If you'd like to share, subscribe, all of that stuff, please, always welcome. I will read your comments, and thank you for showing up.